everybody, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for October. Well, now I got the other thing playing. Welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for October 5th. Sorry, having major tech issues right now, but we're getting it righted around. So thank you if you waited for us there for a second. I finally got it to work, and then I deleted what I typed. There we go.
Can you see me?
There we go. Now it's pinned. But everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming. Sorry for taking a few minutes extra, but thanks for waiting. Tonight we're going to talk about the episode Limbo, and this is the 5th episode of Daryl Dixon. Hey, B, welcome. Hi, Justin. We have the 5th episode today, and then we will be back again Tuesday for Fandom Access. Right now, we only have these two shows because we don't have tons going on right now, but yeah, our next show will be Tuesday at 10 Eastern.
Tuesday is what, Invasion and Wayward, right?
Invasion and Wayward, yeah. So right now we're just a little slow with not lots of stuff on, but we'll be pretty soon bringing some more stuff to you. But for now, we will see you on Tuesday. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Let's, I guess, talk Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. So what did you think about this episode? Clearly, according to the behind the scenes thing, they enjoyed it the most making it, but I don't know about watching it.
I mean, I think this was a side trip that maybe by the end of the season, this will be an episode that didn't really need to happen. Like, it didn't necessarily advance the storyline. It's like an adventure that Daryl has on his way, right? He meets a new band of crazy people, and a band. He needs 2 new bands of people, right? 2 new communities, and he does this thing, and he's moving on now to Barcelona. And I'm not saying it wasn't fun, but I'm not sure yet if this advances our main storyline, and I'm not sure that I learned anything new about Daryl or Carol. But it was fun, right? I mean, it definitely felt like a Western, and they talked in the behind the scenes about it being an homage to spaghetti Westerns. And it's nice looking, but I wonder if this hour was advancing the story.
I kind of feel
my window.
Like
I'm listening to you.
Version. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's go to my window. I'm hot.
Okay. I agree. I mean, it was a fun diversion, and I enjoyed the episode. I just don't know if we needed it. Like, I would have rather had more plot, like, connected to the main story. Like, I get what they were trying to do, and you're right, it did look great, and I loved how they had kind of like the face-offs and the motorcycle chase, and even just like all the shots of him riding through the desert and stuff. Like, it looked really good, and I get it. And the train car was fun and everything, but it's just the only thing that we really got out of this whole episode was that they brought Roberto back, which we knew happened, and that Fede's mother found she had the compass necklace, and that was pretty much like the only part that was connected to the whole. Oh, and that Carol asked and tried to get Antonio to come with them. That was like the only 2 things that happened in the whole episode that you really have to see.
Well,
and they probably will refresh your memory when you start that new episode. So
and I think it seems that maybe Justina didn't volunteer. And it was, she must have maybe confronted Fede about the ribbons, and he sent her off.
Yes, that's what they're. I don't know if she was supposed to actually have told him that or not, but Carol guessed that because she knows from the fact that she tried to escape that clearly she didn't choose to go there. They've kind of figured out now that they guess that she knows what he did and threatened to tell on him. And I think Roberto does say, hi, thanks, Scarlett. I think Roberto does say she said it. I could be wrong, but she might have actually said it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she found out that he cheated and threatened, I guess, to tell everybody if he didn't stop the La Ofrenda, and he said no, I guess, and instead sent her, which, like, I know you said in the chat, like, that kind of defeated the purpose of him cheating if he sent her in the end, but yeah, it is what it is. I guess he cares more about himself not getting in trouble than he does about her getting taken away, if that's the case.
I mean, I think that maybe is the major development of the episode, right? That Fede is we've had some discussions about like him being the mayor and like is he doing what he has to do to keep his people safe? Is he shady? Is he good or bad, so to speak? And now
Yeah.
he's done this thing that seems like more about protecting himself than about protecting Justina.
Yeah. And that's to me where like it doesn't exactly match up to me. Like he cared about his niece so much about protecting her that he risked everything to cheat. And then it's like, well, if I'm gonna get caught, then never mind, you can go now. Like, I don't know. It's a little weak. But yeah, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So but otherwise, I mean, other than it wasn't really connected to the plot except for those little points, I think it was a good episode. But I honestly think they probably could have taken the next episode and like added 5 minutes and accomplished the same. I don't mind there being an extra episode that was sort of this style of spaghetti western. I thought it was cool. It's just for a show that doesn't have very many episodes to begin with. I would have rather fleshed out some other things maybe instead of taking a side diversion. Like I feel like maybe they could have taken this idea of the spaghetti western and did it with him going after Justina or something instead of this whole side trip. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm also confused why they're going to Barcelona. That is where Alcazar's convoy is making like a loop, and the next stop is Barcelona.
Yeah,
right?
so that's Justina. I
Yeah.
guess her name is not Justina, but I'll never remember that. Where she's actually headed.
Yeah, I think they pronounce it Justina in other
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
That's it would be
Spanish.
Justina.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them to go to Barcelona. Barcelona is an architecturally very interesting and gorgeous city. Where Gaudi, if you're familiar with Gaudi, the architect who made all these really, really cool buildings. And I'm kind of excited to see what the show is going to do with them in a state of ruin. But I'll hold that enthusiasm for next week's episode.
Yeah, it did look really good because you're talking about the ruins. I told you, I'm surprised they're allowed to film like within the ruins.
Oh, these
like,
ruins, yeah. No, this was a national monument, they said.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised
Yeah.
they're allowed to film in them, but I guess they probably get permission and then it's
Yeah.
fine. All right. So
I mean, so Game of Thrones has also filmed in Spain in a lot of like national palaces and places that are monuments and museums, and their film commission has
that's cool.
allowed
Yeah,
that.
they didn't get
Game of Thrones was the first crew ever to film in like the Zaragoza, I think.
I would think with stunt heavy scenes, they would maybe have to be more careful. But then again, the parts that are stunts, they may be doing on a soundstage and we don't even know.
Yeah.
So
can we take this comment real quick? Because I really would like to hear more about why Daryl reminds Justin of Batman. Is it because he's like this Dark Knight who meets out justice to bad guys?
Definitely does in this episode anyway.
Yeah. And there's another comment from Justin that we'll take a little bit later, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we start out, and this is the part they're both tortured but don't like to kill. Justin said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And B agrees. Dark Knight makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like that part of the episode. I've been saying that I want Daryl to be the hero, whether that necessarily is what he is or not. I don't know, but I like him standing up for the people and fighting.
I mean, so Daryl's an anti-hero.
Yeah. But I like when he does good and yeah, I like that he went out because look, I feel like he only went after Justina or was agreeing to go after Justina at this point. He's like, no, we need to just go or whatever. And then Carol's like, oh, I'm going then. I'll go by myself. And he's like, no, you're hurt. You can't go. So I feel like he only is going because otherwise she was going to go. So he's doing it kind of so she doesn't go. And otherwise didn't want to. And then the fact that when he gets there, he's going off on this side mission just to help people. I mean, granted, I think he wanted his bike back. I think that was a part of it. But he could have gotten, potentially taken the water, taken the truck on his bike back and not help them. I mean, he did go back. And so, yeah, I like that. Let's see. Justin adds, they're both too traumatized to kill because they witness loved ones being murdered. He definitely murders people, though, and kills people when he needs to, right?
I mean, I always go back to the part where he participated in Rick's raid on the Saviors, like unprovoked. They just agreed to go kill all these people that they didn't really get the right information about, right?
Yeah, which I think was, a big turning point in the story there. Kelly said he wasn't always like that. There's a time he wouldn't have given that no eye guy water. Yeah,
Yes.
that with again, was that like more just for, what do you call it? Ambiance, I guess, because that scene was really didn't need to be there. I mean, like I got it, but it wasn't really necessary.
I think a lot of this episode, and if we can go to B really liked this episode and wasn't bothered that it didn't add to the storyline so much. I mean, I did not like this episode. I'm going to criticize some things because we're here to review it, right? But I thought it was fun. A fun little side trip.
I just think they need more episodes if they're going to go on a side trip.
That's what I think, Jamie. That's the main thing. There's only 10 episodes, and so to spend
there's way less than that. I think there's 8? Like 7. Let me see. I don't have my window open since I had to restart Internet Explorer or not Internet Explorer, Firefox.
So for a season that has fewer than 10 episodes, maybe you'd like.
I want to say there's like. Is there 7 or 8? I'm getting mixed up on shows. Hold on.
I don't know. So, but it's less than 10.
7. So this was episode 5. Like
7.
Yes. And that's kind of my point. Like, I didn't mind that they had this diversion, but like at least make it an extra episode and that's why I said, like, if they wanted this whole idea of spaghetti Western, why not do him going after Justina as part of it and like do it in that style? I think they could have done that. Well, they did, but I mean, he didn't get any closer. Like they could have had whatever I'm assuming is going to happen next time when he's probably going to finally find her. I'm assuming like they could have done that in this style. I feel like, and then added more to the story.
I mean, I guess I said I didn't really learn much more about Daryl, but he did like take time out from chasing Justina to help unfortunate people who couldn't help themselves until Daryl inspired them to stab all these guys and clothesline them.
It was cliche on both that and the train, but I still enjoyed it regardless.
I think the main thing I took from this episode, I think, is that you could really tell that they had a lot of fun making it. Like, and they did say that in the BTS, but even just watching it, like, I think I said several times in our earlier chat, like, I think Nicotera just had an idea for a guy with bloody eyes, and he's been wanting to do it, so let's put it in here. And they talked about wanting to, like, so I'm not agreeing with what was said. I'm going to repeat what was said, and I really have some problems with this, but they said they like research what leprosy looks like because they look like zombies, but then they're not zombies. And I spent a lot of my career working in global health. And so that maybe bothers me a little bit to talk about living people who just have a disease that today is curable. And that really doesn't exist in Spain right now anyway. Yeah, and to say that they look like zombies is very like stigmatizing for people that could still have a disease that exists right now, you know?
Yeah, I think maybe if they had just worded it a little different and maybe had said before it was curable, this is what it looked like back in whatever, maybe that would have been a better way to explain it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like the idea though of the limbo and them kind of in between because they're not living, they're not dead. They don't feel like they belong.
But that's bullshit. They're living. They're not. I mean, they're alive.
Yes, but they're saying I'm more saying like they don't know where they belong. Like they're kind of. I know, Jamie. Not that they should be, but I'm just saying that's how.
And I know those aren't your words. That's what the creator said in the BTS. They said these people aren't living and they're not dead, and that's why they're in limbo. And I was like, God, just because they have a disfiguring disease doesn't mean they're not living.
Too. No, definitely no. But that's what the character said too. I took it more not so much not living as in. Like I said, like they're kind of on the outside, like the living don't accept them. Not that they are not living. I didn't mean it in that way. But
no, but I know that you didn't mean it, but it's what the creators have said and what the character says in the show. Yeah. I know those aren't your words to say that a person with a disease is not living. And they were shunned, right? Having to and couldn't like find a place to live, which maybe I take a little issue with, but Yeah, I think it maybe just bothered me a little bit that people already have a lot of stigma and fear around leprosy. Because, like, if you've ever read the Bible, there's all these leper colonies, or if you've seen Ben-Hur, he has to go. He goes in that leper colony or whatever, right? Which isn't even a thing anymore. And to be honest, it's very low contagion. It's real, like it's not surprising. The fact that this one woman lives among them and doesn't catch it is pretty realistic. It's very low on the contagion scale.
Yeah, these definitely were people that got sick a long time ago. But yeah, you're right. There's no reason they'd be sick now. There wouldn't be that many people.
Well, and there's like no leprosy in Spain right now.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't. So it is, as I said, you probably did more research than the writers did, so we won't.
Well, and I already knew something about it because
No,
I worked for an organization that did global health, and there are countries, mainly Indonesia, where it still exists,
Yeah.
like in the wild or whatever. And I think I went to Catholic school, so we all learned about Father Daniel when the island of Molokai in Hawaii was like a leper colony, and this priest went to live with all these lepers or whatever.
Yeah.
If you went to Catholic school, you've definitely heard that story.
No, I did not learn Catholic.
But it's very like it's a disease that's very stigmatized, right?
No.
And so I didn't love Nicotera saying, well, they look like zombies. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, yeah. I get why you say that.
But I guess, so it's curable, but it takes like a great deal. You have to go on antibiotics for like a year. So I get it that if you got it,
yeah, if it happened during the apocalypse, they don't have those kind
you wouldn't be able to cure it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's see. And
Justin, you just got that witch lady to like chant over you with some.
Yeah, and it goes away,
right? Yeah.
Right. Justin, we would love to have Norman on the show. I'd love to interview him in any way, but that's not going to happen. I've been thinking that season 3 and 4 are really just one long season they're splitting into because they can, I guess. That's not a bad point, B. And yeah, season 1 and 2 felt more complete. These do feel kind of like they were short, and maybe I guess we don't know 4 yet, but I don't know. This season's very short, and I just, like I said, I liked it. I just would have preferred it maybe to them to spend the time doing it with the other part of the plot. But anyway,
like if they're gonna do an episode like this, that's a side track.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, either make another episode. Yeah.
It was fun.
Or have the part of him fighting people be something connected to her a little bit more.
And clearly, like, Norman Reedus was very psyched to have an episode that he spends like half of it riding a motorcycle and being chased by guys on dirt bikes, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see it too, for that matter.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Yeah, it's all good. All right. So they are right now at the beginning, they are looking for Antonio, and they find him strung up over the zombie pit, where they're just kind of hanging him there and waiting for him to get killed because they think it's funny. And it's obviously, this is we're assuming part of Alcazar that grabbed him.
Yeah.
And of course, Daryl and Carol and Antonio probably helped. I don't remember exactly how much he helped, but killed the guys that were there and rescued Antonio, and he's really sick. Look, I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with him other than he was beat up a lot, but they act like
a car wreck also.
He what?
He was in a car wreck also. Remember?
Car wreck. Yeah, but still, that kind of is a little odd to me, because it seemed to me that she was meaning Fede's mother was like doing some kind of ritual enchanting and giving him medicine and stuff because he was sick. He's really not sick. He's injured. So that confuses me a little bit, the way they did that, because there's no reason for him to be quote unquote sick. He could need antibiotics if he's cut in enough places, I guess. But
kernel, whatever, broken. I mean, they were.
Yeah, no, it just, I don't know, stuck up to me.
They could have an infection,
Nicotera doesn't really live in the real world. He's got zombies on the brain in his own little bubble vest of it.
Yeah.
I think he's more focusing on, how it looks, and that's, it is what it is. All right, so they rescue Antonio, and he tells them how, he found Justina, and they tried to get away, and they were caught, and then they wrecked the truck or whatever. And this is where they figure out, like I said, whether he tells them that or they figured it out. I can't remember. I think what happened. Carol
he's
says
like,
they never volunteered, and then she never volunteered.
Roberto's like barely conscious, and he's recounting the story to them while he's laying there, right? Roberto tells them the story. One thing I really didn't like is these flashes. These, like, it's not a full flashback, but these flashes of memory, which I thought were, I don't know, like he could have just narrated it in like 3 sentences. And they gave us a little bit of the flash at the end of last episode, so we already knew that it had happened, right? So this flashback technique that they've been using throughout the season is not speaking to me in the way maybe.
No, I don't love it either.
Some people might enjoy it, but
where I'm getting, what I was saying is, I think where I'm getting mixed up though is I think that Carol says she must not have volunteered, and then he explains it. I just knew there was something about her saying, "Oh, she must not have went." But yeah, the point is that Justina did not volunteer. She found out her uncle cheated with the La Frenda and threatened to tell people if he didn't stop it. And of course, he disagreed and was like, "Nope, you can go with them then." Again, I don't know that this makes sense when he spent all that time protecting her, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, I mean, another question I have is, Alcazar had already left, so who like dragged Justina? He must have, like, Fede must have had some people of his take Justina to them, right?
Yeah, I assume the majority of them took her, and then a couple people stayed behind to kill him, I guess.
Yeah, but who is it? Like, somebody had to take, like, who is it, right? Like, we don't know
whoever was on whoever kidnapped her to begin with, or took her, or whatever. I assume that they took her back, and it's just like 2 guys stayed behind to kill him, and would have caught up with them after. If
I mean, they were being chased by some vehicles, but what I'm saying is, like, who in that town that we've seen before are the people that agreed to take Justina and give her to Alcazar? Like, Fede had to dispatch some townspeople to go do that, right? He's got people in the town who will do his bidding.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just kind of assumed he did it, that he agreed to it. But you're right. Probably people dragged her there. But yeah, I hadn't really thought that deep into it.
Like, he didn't say, go to Alcazar, and she's like, okay, let me take a horse and just go by myself.
No, you're right. They would have had to grab her. I just kind of assumed that he called them, and then they came and got, well, not called them.
Well, call them up.
Called them on their cell phone, contacted them, or went and got them, or whatever, and was like, "Hey, come get her."
I mean, they're way ahead of Daryl, right? Daryl's like days behind.
I get it. I didn't really think that through, but to be fair, they probably didn't think it through either.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple stayed behind to string them up, and of course, they're no more. So, Silver very much liked the episodes. This is the best of the season, I think. Of so far, yeah, I think so. You know what's funny though? I remember us saying that the first episode seemed like a secondary story too.
Yeah.
And that's just why it's so strange. Like, it's only 7 episodes, and 2 of these parts of the story are completely like disconnected from the rest. Well,
I mean, the first episode was necessary to get from England to Spain, right?
Yes.
But then there was like a first episode almost when they arrived in Spain.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a fun hour of television.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure. Just just not huge advancement of all the storylines, and that's fine. But
yeah,
Silver, I don't know if you joined late. Jamie and I were objecting a little bit that in a season that only has 7 episodes, we had this one episode that was mostly like a little side adventure. It's realistic that Daryl would encounter some obstacles on his journey. It's just like every community that he meets is like a new level of bizarre in its own way.
Yeah.
In Spain, in England, in France, in America.
But maybe it's also because this feels like there's no way they're going back to this group, right? Like, if this was maybe that this happened, and then like later on the leper colony helped them or something, then it would maybe connect a little better. I don't think we're going to see them again.
No, I don't think so.
That's kind of, like if it had even been something like the ones on the train were, I guess primitives wouldn't be on the train, but if it had been something like that, like maybe they found them on horseback or something, and they wanted the train thing. But you get my point. They could have connected it a little bit.
Anyway,
okay.
All right. So
they save him, and I believe I don't know. I think they find the compass, right? Doesn't his father pick it up and hand it to him?
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
something like that. Yeah.
down when this was happening. And
I'm
I'm like,
getting a
oh,
little
what?
sick of trying to keep track of this necklace.
Yeah. But the point is, he's like, we got to take him back to the town because they have medicine that will help him. And Carol is like, okay, if we got to do this, then we got to like lie and say that he was attacked because Fede's already pissed at him. He left. But if he finds out he went after Alcazar, he'll kill him. So they have to make up a
Oh, that
lie.
he just happened to be hanging around outside and the banditos got him. Right?
Bandito is attractive. So yeah, they're going to tell this lie, and I love how I don't know. Yeah, I love how there's a line in here where, and I know you probably know what I'm going to say. Whenever Carol said, or Daryl says, I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something like, "We got a good liar here," like he knows
Yeah,
that Carol.
it's a good thing we have an excellent liar or something like that. He
Yeah,
says, yeah.
something to that effect. That was awesome.
And Carol gives him a look like, but Carol is a great liar. She's a great manipulator and a great liar, which, I mean, Carol's life before the apocalypse, like when I feel like when she lived with Ed and she was in an abusive relationship, she was like maybe kind of performing a lot of the time. You know how you're always trying to keep that abusive husband, she's always trying to keep Ed happy and always trying to like, and I feel like maybe that's a way that she learned to be what the person needs you to be what you need to be to protect yourself, kind of, right? Yeah. I think maybe
and that's why she was good at it when she was hiding her true skills and everything later on. Yeah, that's very cool, very true. And I like where she was, kind of this demure, not her pretending to be in the original show.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they're going to tell this lie. And this is where Daryl's basically like, okay, then let's go back. And she's like, no, we're going to go after Justina. And he's like, we can't do that. And she's like, fine, I'll go by myself. And he says, no, you're hurt. Fine, I'll go. And then he makes some comment about they still have the hot dogs to eat or something, because those hot dogs have come up how many times. But yeah, he's going to go so Carol does not risk her life, which I
feel like that's like Chekhov's hot dog. Like if you see a can of hot dogs in episode 1, they'll be eating hot dogs in episode 7.
Did at the end, yeah. But yeah, I appreciated that Daryl's like, you're hurt, I'm going to go so you don't. Regardless of why you think he cares enough to do that is irrelevant. I like that he stood up and was like, yeah, okay, I'll go. Kelly says we better see them eating those hot dogs.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, also they can't both go because if Carol's already told. Oh, it's when she gets back she tells the lie that he went to the boat, right?
That Daryl, she tells that lie too. That Daryl isn't coming. That he's not going to be there for a while because he went to check out the boat. And he's like, "Well, make sure he tells us when he's coming in at night so we don't kill him or something like that." And she's like, "Oh, he's going to spend the night there." So yeah. Unfortunately, Justin, I don't have access to the lead cast on this.
I mean, never since like the beginning of the first Walking Dead, Melissa McBride is like a unicorn. Like she doesn't do a lot of press.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of press, but
when they do press days with a lot of, like, you've interviewed a lot of the cast, but never these two, right?
No, never those two. Yeah, on the original show, I interviewed the majority of it, but never them, never Deny or
Andy Lincoln.
Not the main guys. Someday, maybe we can hope.
I mean, I even talked to Lenny James once, and I think you've talked to him more than once, right?
Yeah.
But the top 4 are just not available unless you're like the Washington Post.
Yeah, you gotta be a little more important than us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's see. B says a little late, but when Justina left, she was in the car with the future princess Elena. I think that she left at least with some of Alcazar's people. Yeah, that's why I was saying I thought they went and came and got her.
No, I think maybe Fede's people delivered her. They caught up with Elena.
But B's right. At the end of last episode, when Carol was like, "Oh no," they showed Alcazar come to get Justina. They showed her in their car for like a couple seconds.
But in the town or in the woods? In the woods, right?
No. When remember whenever
they did show them.
Shit, he's gonna do something stupid. Look, and then she goes out and she runs out. Yeah.
Maybe they were just not gone yet from town.
Yeah, well, that's possible too. Yeah, but either way, but you're right. You're right, B. You're right.
I think I'm going to quote you, Jamie. We've probably thought about it more right now than the writers did when they wrote it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, all right. Let's see.
B just checked because she thought. Okay, so thank you, B. That's a
No,
definite
I think you're right. I think you're right.
definite fact because she just checked it.
Yeah. So, at any rate, they decide that they're gonna make this live. Well, thank you, Justin. I'm glad you have faith in us, but you need to talk to some famous people and
Yeah.
get them to agree.
Maybe I'll
Uh,
start letting my gray grow in so I can be more McBride.
yeah, yeah. All right. So they get back to uh their house, what do you call it? What is it?
Town. They
Salon,
get back to the town.
to the town.
Antonio's house. They're in Antonio's house, right?
Yeah, and Justina's grandmother, who is Fede's mother,
Yeah.
is fixing him up, and this is where Carol says that they sound like witches or whatever because they're giving him like this potion, and I don't know, they're giving him some kind of concoction.
Well, it's a folk remedy. It's a local
Yeah,
folk remedy that's been used probably for like ever. I mean, I liken it to being like, oh, you have a cold, take honey and like chicken soup for a cold, right? Or honey and ginseng or whatever. And when they
right.
were like chanting, I kind of chose to think about it kind of like it was praying, kind of like they were
Yeah.
praying, but in an
No,
ancient
yeah, they were
way, right?
basically saying to get all the evil away, to keep evil away from him. And yes, I agree with you. I'm just saying that when I think about it now, he was hurt, not sick. I mean, could he need antibiotics because he was beaten up? Definitely,
He could have an infection and a fever
he
and
could.
be
He could.
sick and be sick.
Right. No, no, you're right. He could. Yeah, it's just the way they did it made me kind of think about it.
Or you could be severely injured and be delirious and not have like be sick from an infection, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
What's interesting here is that on every like zombie show or apocalypse show, in every town, a doctor has survived. But I like that in this show,
yeah,
there's no doctor. Like they've it's not realistic that every town would have a doctor that somehow survived, right?
yeah. They still have
And
somebody with medical knowledge, though. They have to have somebody with medical
yeah, I
knowledge.
mean, we always joke that if you're the doctor, you have plot armor and you can never be killed, right?
Yeah, yeah. Usually it's either they got some kind of doctor or sometimes shows will have a vet. There'll be like a vet left that,
Or like on From, I forget the girl's name on From. She's a paramedic, right? Who had like
yeah,
a year, 2 years of medical school or something.
yeah, yeah. They have to have something, somebody with training.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like you said, kind of chanting, praying over him to get to for the evil not to hurt Antonio.
Yeah.
And yeah, at least at this point, we don't maybe know by the end of the episode. We're not 100% what's going on with that. But I mean, she seems to be truly trying to help him and, want to.
Yeah.
So yeah, then in the town, this is where they totally lie to him. But there's also this thing
Fede.
where they have
They totally lied to him. You mean Daryl and
sorry,
Carol and Antonio lied to Fede, right?
not no Antonio and Carol, but yeah, they lie to him about what happened. But there's also this little diversion, I guess, story where Fede talks about knowing Antonio's wife, and basically it sounds like he's saying we were friends back then.
Yeah.
And we don't really know anything other than he's saying, "Oh, I knew his wife and she made good food or whatever." I forget what he said, and he has a nickname for Antonio and everything. So yeah, at some point they were friends. And this is where I told you last week my theory. I kind of started questioning that, like maybe he had an affair with
With the
Antonio's
white. They love the same
or
woman.
mother,
Yeah.
yeah, or Roberto's mother. Sorry, not Antonio's
Yeah.
mother. So yeah, but they say, oh, maybe it was primitives that attacked them, and he's like, no, that would have killed them. And then Roberto's basically like begging him not to punish him for leaving and like at least wait.
Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio, sorry. And he kind of agrees to wait at least till he's doing better. And then he asked about Daryl, and this is where she says,
but, like, that's a problem, right? Punish you for leaving. They are prisoners in this town.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Right? Punish you for leaving. That's a problem there.
It is a problem, but we knew that would happen. And he doesn't say he won't punish him. He just at least agrees, I guess, to wait until he's doing better before they talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, would he have punished him? I don't know. He didn't punish him the first time when he said he was going to, so he may not.
Well, because he would have had to punish. He went with Justina the first time. He would have he would have to punish Justina also.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like if they went out and like then the place wasn't protected as well or something, then I could see them getting in trouble for leaving. But just to leave, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not like he
Um,
left his guard post or he left the gate
right,
open or something, right?
right, right. But this is where Carol tells Fede that Daryl is working on the boat and he's going to spend the night on the beach because he's outdoorsy. And he's like, yeah, he looks it. It's like he does.
Yeah,
She
he's
get
very
away with that line.
outdoorsy.
Yeah, and then I love
I
how
mean,
once
isn't everyone outdoorsy right now? 15 years into the zombie apocalypse.
if you're still alive, I think you kind of have to be. That's why people like me would not survive very long. Although I'd probably trip and fall. But regardless, this is where Pat, she's like right away, totally knows what's happening. She figured it out. She's like, it was Alcazar, wasn't it? And Antonio tells her and he tells Carol they can trust her.
Well, and this is a totally like kind of obvious and suspicious moment that Paz overhears the whole thing. And at the time in our chat, I typed to you guys, obviously Paz is going to follow Daryl and appear at the absolute moment he needs his life to be saved, right?
And you're probably right. Yeah, that's when things like that tend to happen. But she wants to help him. We know that. So that's
well, she wants to rescue. She wants to rescue Elena.
Right.
She wants to rescue Elena.
Well, that too. She also that's true. So two birds, right?
I mean, I think that's the main bird, and then there's this also tiny little bird also of like helping Daryl. But the big bird is like if I help Daryl, I can
helping. No, I meant helping Justina and Roberto. I don't think she cares about. I mean, I think she's going to help Daryl by default, but I don't think she cares about Daryl. I think she cares about the kids. But yes, I think she probably more about.
They're not kids.
They're kids. Young adult
women. And Elena, she cares about Elena, and then also
Justina and Roberto. All right, so then we go to Daryl, and there's all these.
Oh, look how beautiful that is!
It is all these sweeping shots of the landscape of him riding his bike through the desert, and then he sees this crazy character. Which, yeah, I agree. I think that they thought, "Ooh, this looks cool," even though it serves absolutely no purpose. But yeah, this guy comes up and he's got, I guess, no eyes.
Bleeding eyes. Yeah, no eyes.
Eyes they look like they've been pecked out or something. He's got no eyes. He asks for water. Daryl, there he is. There's a close up. Daryl gives him some water, and then he goes to guzzle it all, and Daryl like grabs it from him.
And like, who is this guy? Because he's not from the leper colony, right? He's not. He's just a guy that was wandering around the desert somehow.
Yeah, that somehow survived long enough to wander on that because he like wouldn't survive very long without water.
And he's all creepy, and he's like the bone crusher, the buzzard. The bone crusher is coming.
Because the bone crushers are coming now. Yeah, that was my question. Is he talking about like the people, or is he talking about the
buzzards who appeared in this?
Yeah, the
Kelly. The train guy took the eyes.
Okay, now I feel really stupid. And now I feel really stupid. So they took his eyes and then just let him go because they're cruel instead of killing him.
Look, and I'm pretty sure iguanas don't eat eyes.
Huh? Well, probably not. But yeah,
they eat mostly like vegetation, and then they eat like I think little bugs and snails and worms and shit like that. But little creatures like that. I don't think they eat eyes, but whatever. It's the apocalypse. You gotta eat what you can eat.
Yeah, but I totally, for whatever reason, did not get that until she.
I didn't get that either, Kelly. You're a genius. I don't know if we're the only two who didn't get it, or
we're the dumb ones who didn't get it. Because as soon as she said it, I'm like, oh yeah, duh, I knew that. I didn't think about it, but yeah. That's kind of
Thank
how
you. I never put two and two together. I just saw this guy. I was like, what is this, Nicotero? What is this random dude? And then, Yeah.
But saying bone crusher, I don't know if that's referring to the train or to the buzzards. That part I'm not sure about.
Well, the people on the train, the leper, I'm gonna call them the lepers, which I hate. The Limbo people, call them the buzzards.
See, I thought maybe they that's the thing is when you say buzzards, it's like, does it mean the people or does it mean the vultures? And
no, I think that gang they called the buzzards.
People, yeah.
I think that gang was called the buzzards, but I don't know if the bone crusher is the head buzzard or it's somebody new that we haven't met yet. Justin feels this is someone that looks cool but serves no purpose as Kim Kardashian.
Thank you, Justin. I'm glad you think I serve a purpose.
Justin, if you watch this most recent season of American Horror Story, which was really not a great story, but Kim Kardashian was the best. I can't believe I'm saying this. She was the best thing about that show. She was so good in that show.
Wow, that's surprising.
She,
Although
she plays
I've never seen her act, so I can't.
She plays a Hollywood PR hack who is secretly also a witch.
Oh, okay.
Who steals babies?
Who steals babies? Okay.
Yeah.
Do not watch the show.
She was awesome. She was so good in it. I can't believe I'm saying that because I'm not a fan of any reality television, but she was great in that show.
Well, that's good. Yeah, no, I have not seen that, so I can't comment. So anyway, he tries to drink all Daryl's water and he like takes it back.
I can't blame him. He's in the desert.
I don't blame him at all.
And he's blind, so he doesn't know that Daryl doesn't have any more.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what Daryl does later, right? Like he takes all the water. So there's another great photo of him in the desert.
Yeah.
And he sees the train car, and this is where we get the guy who's whatever, their leader, who is taking drugs with this lady and feeding, or at least they implied that, and feeding eyeballs to his pet iguana. But
and so I said to you when that scene appeared, that really reminded me of Snowpiercer. If anybody watched the most recent, the 4 seasons of Snowpiercer, you know how like Mr. What was his name? Mr. Sean Bean's character was Mr.
Wilford.
Mr. Who?
Wilford.
He had that bathtub in his train car, and like he was in the bathtub, Audrey's in the bathtub, Kevin killed himself in the bathtub, right? Like everybody was always in that bathtub on that train. Yeah, but I think this scene actually is to show us, like, in a landscape where people are dying of thirst, he's using water to just lounge about and have sex and like do whatever in his bathtub, right? It's like a very like decadent use of a finite resource. In this,
although that water was gross and really dirty. So
yeah. Well, I think everybody's really dusty all the time.
But here's his bull eyeballs. So yeah, he says, "Go get Daryl. Take his bike in his eyes." Is basically what he says.
Did you ever go to a haunted house where they're like, close your eyes and put your hand in this bowl, and it feels like it's peeled grapes, but they feel like eyeballs? Did you ever do that at a haunted house?
No, but I remember making boxes like that for school.
Yeah, and then you put your hand in the bowl, and they're like, "Ew, it's eyeballs," but it's really just peeled grapes.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous. Look at that gorgeous shot.
It is. There's a lot of sweeping landscapes. But yeah, these guys come after him. Now this happened really quick, and I was asking you because I like blinked and missed it. They're shooting at each other, and I guess Daryl, to get away, jumps off his bike so they don't follow him. I was a little confused how he ended up off the bike, or if they ruined his bike, or if they shot it. I was a little confused how he ended up off the bike.
I was confused how Daryl shot him twice because he's winged in the arm, and then there's also a hole in his fuel tank in his bike, right? I guess Daryl maybe winged him earlier in the arm, but like this is almost like a joust, right? Where they're going at each other with these two long guns, and Daryl shoots his fuel tank. But you're right. Then we cut to a scene of Daryl's bike laying on the ground. And I guess you're supposed to think for a split second that Daryl's hurt, which is never going to happen.
Yeah, that's why I thought at first maybe he hit his fuel tank, but that wasn't what happened. And it was it was a little confusing. But at any rate, Daryl ends up off the bike. Doesn't have any of his stuff with him for whatever reason. He didn't bother to take any of it. We won't go there. Like, didn't bring that water that he had, even though he's in the desert, and that would be the thing you would grab, But there's another, and then he sees that guy is eaten by.
We think that's no eye guy, right?
Yeah, eaten by the.
That buzzard just swoops right down and like knocks him down.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little. Like most buzzards and turkey vultures, they eat dead meat, right? And this guy was up and walking, and I was like, "Oh, would they really just attack him and eat him, or would they?" But you said,
if they wait too long, they'll be walkers. So maybe.
Well, you said they had to evolve, yes, and eat before they turn into a walker. They had to evolve and learn to attack.
That was my sarcasm, but it makes sense. But I also kind of wonder, like, if something's necrotic, maybe they would attack. But I don't know.
I mean, you always see them eating roadkill on the side of the road, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure how vultures work. There's a good shot there of a couple or something of.
It's cool, but also I was like, "What the hell is that? Who are they? Why are we seeing that? What's going on?"
Yeah,
but
like it looks
it's just
cool,
cool
but
looking.
again, serves no purpose other
It's
than it
just like
looks
the writer or directors were like, let's do this cool thing, which is fine. A lot of this episode was about that, and it's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's okay to do that once in a while. Just
Yeah.
put plot in there and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then Daryl comes
Out comes apart.
comes across this leper colony. And this guy doesn't speak English, but he's like, Agua, follow me, basically, is what he's like. I have water, come this way. And because at first Daryl's gonna shoot him, and yeah, he realizes he's alive and he's human, and he doesn't shoot him. He doesn't really. I kind of question though that Daryl very quickly put down his gun. He didn't still like have his hackles up, like worried they were going to try to attack him, which I kind of question because he's Daryl, but you know, it is what it
Well,
is.
because pretty much everyone always tries to attack him. Like every community they come to usually tries to attack you, right?
Yeah, but I guess he knows these guys are safe for who knows why.
Well, they're unarmed, right?
No, the one behind him had a gun. Because remember, the only reason I remember that is because in the behind the scenes thing, Norman was asking them, like he sees that he's not a walker, but then the other guy has a gun, and he was asking like, should he put his gun back up or whatever. So yeah, the other guy had a gun.
Right.
But they all take him to their place that's staying in this kind of city ruins where they all live, this leper colony, and pictures of them around there. They give Daryl some water, and he, as normal, is very rude, and he's just like, more water, more water. Like, look, I get it. He was out in the desert. He's, dying of thirst, but
he should say, please, sir, can I have some more?
Yeah, some more. Yeah, he doesn't like say please or thank you, or he just still has no manners as normal. But to be fair, he didn't know they didn't have more water. I mean, he's been staying at a place that has all the water they need. But she comes up and she's like, no more water. Water is like what we have for everybody here. This is all we have left.
Yeah.
And he kind of right away looks kind of sheepish, like I'm sorry, but he didn't say that, which he could have. But yeah, he didn't mean to be rude, but he was. And this is where
that character, she's very enigmatic. Like nobody in this colony ever gets a name, right? They're all nameless. She is not infected as far as we can tell. And, she mentions how it's not non-communicable, but it's low transmission disease and how it's safer to live there. But like, we never learn why. I mean, I don't need to learn. She's nobody. She's gone from the story already. But why did she go to live in a leper colony?
Like, I would look at it as maybe people who are ignorant or scared of them, so they get left alone. That would be my idea. I'd be like, well, maybe it's worth staying here because it's kind of safe. But
it's kind of safe because nobody's going to come in there and be like,
nobody's going to bother them. But they didn't explain that, because that to me would make a little bit of sense.
I'm kind of surprised that the buzzards would steal water from a leper colony. Like, wouldn't they be afraid that that's infected? I'm going on and on about how it's really not very transmissible and it's very rare, whatever, but those guys probably wouldn't know that, right? And would huge deal
out of their sister and not out of like their personal
water. A huge deal is made later that Daryl drinks out of the little girl's cup, right? Like, couldn't they just be like, oh, you want our water? I'm going to jump right in it. And I don't know. It just seems like
I hadn't thought about that. And I didn't take that scene with Daryl drinking her water that way. And that actually makes a lot more sense and is a better scene to me now, because that didn't connect. Like, you're right. Because she gives him this look, like kind of horrified that he took it. And I thought that it was more, she's kind of like, now you're taking our kids' water. But I thought that he didn't want to be rude. So he took it, and he was showing, I only took a little drink. I gave it back. But the leper thing didn't really occur to me, and that actually makes a lot more sense.
Daryl loves little children, and like, water's so rare, and it was such a
meaningful gesture. I'm not scared of you. We're the same. It doesn't bother me. So yeah, I like that. That's cool. Justin says, it'd be cool if Daryl used magic to cure the lepers, like God had given the ability to, because he asked God nicely. I don't think he can cure them. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah. But they're okay. They're just yeah. But yeah, Daryl is not. I do think, now that you said that, I think Daryl was showing he wasn't afraid of the little girl. and wasn't afraid that he was going to get it or whatever.
I mean, he's kind of really not afraid of these people at all, ever. I mean, I think when they ask him in, he doesn't know that they are lepers. Because why would he recognize them and be like, he's not a doctor, and be like, oh my god, those are the symptoms of Hansen's disease, right? And then the woman, the mystery woman, she says like, oh, I can touch them
Just
a
not a
little
lot,
bit,
yeah.
just not a lot. And Daryl's not really afraid of, I mean, I guess when you live in a world overrun by zombies, like,
Yeah.
leprosy's not that scary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it looked more like people that had like some kind of, like you would see in movies, the way they did the disease as like an effect wise. It more to me looked like a nuclear burns or something the way they did it. So yeah, I don't know. Um,
In Game of Thrones, there's a disease called grayscale, which they describe as like you're kind of look like you're turning to stone. And we see a little bit of it in the Game of Thrones series, and this looked a little bit like, look, I don't know what a person with leprosy looks like, right?
right.
And I don't know if grayscale in Game of Thrones is supposed to be similar, but it seemed to be a little bit like that to me.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
uh,
But yeah. Although, to be fair, Daryl would have to. I mean, that woman has to be drinking this water too, or she would be infected.
which
I
I
mean,
guess
like
if you just
if it's
scoop it
full
out
of
of the
bitter water.
cistern, if you scoop it out of the cistern and nobody else has touched it, it's probably
Yeah.
fine, right? And it
Yeah, and that
is,
was kind of my point of them stealing it, but that they would have been she would have been drinking the
yeah,
same water, so it
and
wouldn't.
it's very low. I'm trying to find the right way to say this with good grammar. On the contagion scale, it's pretty low, right? Like measles is way up here and leprosy is way down here on, like, in terms of how contagious it is. You'd have to like maybe really be living among them for a long time and really touch their lesions and stuff to get it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so anyway, basically he finds out that these people help him because they think that he can help them get their water back. Because the people on the train took the water from their cistern. And he's even like, we'll give you a truck. Yeah, this guy tries to talk Daryl into helping him. And this woman's kind of like, what are you doing? He's not going to help us. And she does tell Daryl, they'll survive maybe 4 or 5 days, and then everybody's going to die because we have no water. And so she's basically like saying, if you're not going to help us, don't take the truck too, And
Doesn't he makes this decision the next morning after he has
right,
slept?
she basically says sleep on it is kind of what she says. And
Well,
we'll
and he
talk.
has that kind of meaningful stare with the little girl, which I feel like maybe like kind of like helped to convince him that these people need help. Like he likes children. He's not. I mean, Negan's a little more obvious in the way he responds to children, but Daryl also responds to children, right?
Yeah.
And they exchange like meaningful looks in the night, and I feel like that helped to convince him that these people need his help.
Yeah, and B says, I thought it was about him taking the water from a little kid too. I didn't think it was about him drinking from the same canteen as someone with leprosy. I totally missed that. Well, at least I'm not the only one that didn't get it. So I'm kidding. I don't think, probably not everybody thought about it, because that's not something we deal with, now, since it has been cured. Maybe if if they had COVID or something, we'd be like, no, don't drink
Yeah,
that type
I
of thing.
think that's I to me, as I watched that scene, I really thought that.
No, I think you're right. I didn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It gave it more meaning, so I like it. But anyway, there's a picture here of him.
This was
Of
gorgeous. This
feeling,
was so beautiful. I thought, looking up,
yeah,
it's a
the
little
dark-
darker here than it appeared on my television screen.
yeah, it's hard to see because
And then the shot looking down at Daryl, like Rita's has maybe never looked more beautiful. I think when that shot looking down at him from the cupola.
Yeah,
Which,
it's very cool. I like it. So then
the close up of his face, I thought was almost like the most kind of.
Oh, I went too fast. Sorry, I didn't get a close up.
I didn't get it. Yeah, there's a shot in between. Like he looks up, we see his close up, and then they look down through the hole at him. But that close up of Regis' face, I was like, oh my god, he looks fantastic.
Yeah, it was done really well. So in the morning, Daryl agrees that he will help, but first he's teaching them how to fight back. and he has them get a rope, and he starts telling them how to do things. And we've seen this kind of scene before. It's going to work, and he's going to make them good fighters, and da 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 da. It's going to work, right?
And I commented to you that I know that this is based on more spaghetti western, but like I felt like this was a little bit like Magnificent Seven. If you guys have seen the Magnificent Seven, where have you seen it, Jamie?
I think so, a long time ago. But
it's about this town that is like overrun by banditos, like always like stealing their shit and whatever. And they hire 7 gunslingers to come to town to fight off these banditos. And in the process, the Magnificent Seven like teach them how to fight also.
I think I've seen part of it because I know I've seen a big part with Denzel Washington.
And, that was the remake.
That's the original. I was going to say I don't think
the original's with Yul Brynner. I've seen the original like several times.
I have not seen the original for sure, but I saw part of the other one. But anyway, I just was saying though, this scene is also very very cliche, just because you see this in a lot of different shows. In fact, we've seen this in The Walking Dead before. Of them, banding together these people that don't know what to do, and suddenly they're going to be good fighters. And which look, I appreciated. They really didn't fight here; they just were smart, and he, taught them how to do what he needed them to do.
Set up some like booby traps and some ambushes.
They all of a sudden start, killing them all. So it was a little more believable. And this is where he takes the drink from the little girl,
beautiful little girl.
Yeah, that's why very strategically placed.
It's only the lesions are only like up here. It's a child's canteen. It has like a cartoon character on it. It is her personal canteen. Yeah. And there's this like pregnant pause when she hands it to him, like Willie or won't he? And then he drinks out of it.
Yeah, and that's why the other woman looks horrified at him, like, "What, you did that? I can't believe you did that." So the idea is like this little girl offered him what she needed and gave it to him. And I think that if he had refused, even, it also would have been mean to her. Like, I think like he was kind of like he had to do it. And
it would be like, I'm grossed out. I'm too afraid to drink this water that I might catch something from you.
Yeah, and he wasn't. So then he takes and drives a truck in order to, because part of me is thinking, like, if he doesn't, whether he gets his bike back or not, he's kind of bringing these people more trouble, right? By him going and bringing them there. But obviously that, the plan.
Well, I love how, so this entire episode, and really almost the entire season, has been shot in these like golden mustard sepia kind of tones, right? And the truck is exactly the color of the landscape.
It is blended a bit. Yeah. But yeah, he leads them there, and that's when they say buzzard.
Well, he leads so the buzzards are coming after him because they wanted his bike. Now they're mad he shot them, right? And he leads them right into town, into the ambush. Yeah, it's like very Western, right? It's a very like Western kind of thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Hi, Trey, welcome. So yeah, they string rope across the way that the motorcycle drivers run right into and get knocked off their bikes. And then they like kind of stake them. Basically, they're all like all stabbing them with their sticks after. There they are, and stoning them, it looks like, too. So yeah, and then the little girl's watching. She's even got really pretty eyes.
I mean, it's a little bit like these people never defended themselves until this one guy shows up one day. And I mean, that's a trope, but I can get behind it because it worked and it was kind of fun. And it was great to see these guys being like, I mean, there was a little bit, do you remember? Okay, I hate to make this comparison, but you remember in The Empire Strikes Back where the Ewoks are like taking out the Empire just with rope and logs and all the things they have in their little community there. And it's another like kind of lower tech community, like fighting back against a higher tech community.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But also there's the fact that Daryl only has 4 bullets, because she makes a point of saying that, and she's like, marking down every.
Well, he says it. He says I only have 4 bullets. The little girl says 4 demons. There were 4 bikers. She says 4 demons, and she's marking them down as they get killed, right?
Yeah. Now these ones, they pull a chain across, but it's basically like the strip that rips people's tires. I don't know what you call it, but like they made in From. Yeah. And there's a really great shot. I love that.
Oh, this is great. Look how so
a little bit like chicken. Like they're playing chicken. It almost was a little bit like they're playing chicken, like that guy's gonna run him over if you don't move. And
And do you see how he's framed? He's framed in that archway behind him, almost like a halo over his head.
yeah, that's cool. That looks really cool. But he shoots at the guy.
I hate
He
that
hits
guy.
him in the arm, I guess, which he'd already hit him in the arm before, so I'm not sure about that. But anyway,
This is a
he hit him
different
with the
guy.
bullet.
This is a different guy, I think. This is
Is it?
nose ring. This is nose ring guy, I think.
Okay, nose ring guy. Well, he I like they're using welding masks for like face shields because it's actually really smart. So anyway, Daryl with the last bullet, Daryl hits him, but he doesn't kill him. So he's still coming, and she's like, "Oh no!" And
This is
then
where
he has-
this is the other guy. This is the guy he nicked in
Yeah.
the arm before.
yeah, and well, I think that is nose ring guy, isn't it?
No, I don't know if
Let's
it's
see what
nose
I
ring.
shared. Well, I'm pretty sure
It's
that's
not nose ring. It's Mohawk guy.
I don't know. Anyway, he pulls out this weapon, and I know he talked about this in the behind the scenes thing. It's kind of like a katana, but it like folds up.
I think he said it has a name. Like, I'm gonna say it wrong, but didn't he say it's called a fuku, which is kind of fun to say? Like it's
something like
almost,
that.
It sounded almost like that really bad.
Yeah, it looks.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but
bad
I think
word.
he says it's called a fuku or something like that.
Yeah. But either way, he pulls it out, and this guy's like racing towards him, and he has this really creepy looking axe that's been made out of saw blades. And I agree with what you said to me at this point. You said it's really Mad Max. It does look very Mad Max-ish, which is kind of funny because they're going for Western, but yet it's like kind of high-tech Western in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he comes in, and Daryl slices his neck and knocks him right off the bike, and he drowns in his own blood, basically. He is no more. There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
Nose ring guy. I told you.
It is no guy.
I
I felt like they gave him a little more dramatic death than he deserved, considering his name. Like he's nameless, but he has this like sort of, he gets up like, and then he just like kind of dies kneeling. It was kind of cool that he doesn't fall over, right? That was kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. But Daryl has succeeded, and then he goes after the train. It kind of just goes from there to the next. He starts going after the train.
Catches up with the train, yeah.
And I could not get a good picture of this guy that's playing the guitar, but the guy in the front is riding a horse, playing a guitar, which is really funny but kind of cool.
Well, and this is very Mad Max. Like in the George Miller Mad Max, there's like as the Immortan Joe's like army is coming, there's a guy. Have you seen it, Jamie? There's a guy playing the guitar, like standing on the front of a semi truck, right? I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have seen what's the George Miller Mad Max called? The one with Tom Hardy. And I guess again in the Charlize Theron one, but there's a guy who's like playing it. He's like strapped to the front of this giant truck playing guitar and fire shooting and everything. And this reminded me like a slow motion, low tech, like kind of. I get that he's singing so that the zombies will follow him and then pull the train, right? He's the bait.
Yeah, they have them all right. They have them all attached to them all attached to the train. Mm-hmm. And I guess as long as he keeps up a certain pace and they don't break free from their
I don't think zombies could pull a train.
I don't think they could either, but
they don't have superhuman strength, and they're all so like decrepit. Oh, I just got a cramp in my leg. Oh, they're also decrepit and falling apart that I feel like their arms would like pull right off trying to pull a like
probably, and then they'd go bite them.
What does a train weigh? Like hundreds or thousands of tons, right?
Yeah, I kind of was thinking the same thing. Like, this is a really cool idea, and then I'm thinking there's no way it could
thousands
pull them. But you could maybe get like a motorhome it could pull. That could be cool.
Or maybe if you got it going and you never stop, then the zombies can keep pulling it.
Maybe you have to have it in a neutral.
But it was a cool idea. It was a cool idea of harnessing the power of the zombie, right? Like, I know that sometimes we pick this apart a lot, and we don't always maybe need to. It's a cool idea, and it looked cool, and it's worth a shot. Like, I might try it in the future to get them to pull my wagon or something, right?
Something, yeah. But you never think that, like, they could use them instead of horses to pull wagons and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is, like I said, you got to have somebody as bait and like hope the ropes don't break, right?
Or do what Michonne did and chop off their jaws.
That would work. B says the chains look very slack. They didn't look like they're hauling the train. The train should have been told. They should have been.
Yeah, it could have been a little more
realistic.
Yeah.
There it shows it.
That's a cool
The
shot,
big
though,
deal.
Jamie.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, there's a guy up top that Daryl kills, and there's the guy down below.
We never get that guy's name, right?
No, we don't get his name. I took a picture. I guess he was waiting for them on the bridge. Then was how he got on
Yeah,
top
then
of
he jumps down, right?
So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So he jumps down and he attacks the guy that's on the top of the train car. And the guy's like, no, 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 please don't. And it's like he's dead before he gets it all the way out, right?
And this is another classic. Like that happens in, I think Indiana Jones. Well, he fights on top of moving trucks. I don't think ever on a train, but Indiana Jones is on moving trucks. We've seen Tom Cruise fight on a moving train. But I think I don't know if you. I think this might be in the Great Train Robbery. I'm not sure, you guys. I haven't seen the Great Train Robbery in like 1,000,000 years, but that's a silent film, right? And I think they might run on top of it in the Great. It happens in a lot. Look, on Snowpiercer,
it happened in a lot of shows.
But it was still really cool, and it's always exciting. It's always dangerous. It was interesting, though. If you guys watched the behind the scenes, Jamie, did you see how slow that train was moving in the behind the scenes?
Well, they have to be safe, but yeah.
I know they do. Yes.
Yeah, it's happened in the Librarians. It's happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, there's always trains and people running on top of them. So then he ends up in the train, which, by the way, the walkers end up inside the train. He must have killed the guy with the guitar, too, I guess. Is that why they all end up?
The guitar guy ends up getting torn apart by the guitar guy, and the horse get torn apart by the zombies.
Right, but was it? I thought maybe Daryl killed him. Why did they suddenly attack him then? Was there?
I have no idea. How did he slow down?
I assume Daryl killed him, and then they all like went after him.
If I was riding the horse, the lead horse bait for the zombies, I'd make sure I could easily unattach those chains and get away if I had to. Right
right away. Well, that's why I'm saying I thought maybe Daryl killed him, and that's why they all were all of a sudden inside the train.
I know, but once again, how many horses have been eaten on this franchise? A lot.
Oh, Kelly says Daryl cut the zombies loose. Okay, see, I missed that part. That's why I said I knew I blinked and missed it. So thank you. That helps. But yeah, they all come inside the train car, and there's this guy in here again who, as we said before, like he's kind of this like. I don't want to say rich because it's not per se rich, but he's this powerful guy who doesn't do anything. And he's kind of like, oh, I won't fight you, you know? And of course, Daryl fights him anyway. There's a picture of the walkers overrunning it.
Oh, yeah.
There's more of there's one
train roof. Yeah.
So I took some different pictures inside this. I have to say, I did love how in the middle of them like attacking each other, they're each getting attacked by walkers, and it's almost like they're helping each other to dispatch the walkers. The way they're kind of back to back, like they give each other this look like, okay, we won't kill each other because we're going to kill the walkers. They kind of give each other this look to do that. And then they take all the walkers out. Yeah. And then he looks at Daryl and he's like, just give me a second. Like, I'm out of breath. Like, and he actually waits and gives the guy a chance to like catch his breath before he kills him. I'm like, what was the point to that other than it was funny? I wonder if that's from a Western, I bet. Because it served absolutely no purpose, but it was hilarious. Like the guy's just like, give me a second. And then he attacks him, which I loved. So yeah. And then Daryl drowns him in his own bathtub.
Yeah.
And then stabs him in the head.
In his nasty, dirty bathwater.
Yeah. And then he stabs him in the
shoots him. He shoots him in the head.
Sorry, shoots him, kills him.
I guess because he's gonna turn, and then you'll have to walk. I texted you during this sequence that I like the idea of fighting your way through a train car, even though we have seen it a million times. Every alien movie, every zombie movie, so many movies have a scene with people trapped in a bus or trapped in a train. But it's still kind of like that claustrophobia.
Yeah,
works, right?
It does. It still looks really cool. Dude, that guy even had a fan on his train car.
Well, I mean, I think
but it worked, but I just think it's hilarious. Do train cars have fans? I never really thought about it.
I think a luxury, this was maybe a historic luxury car that was maybe outfitted either. So I went on like a historic train in June when I was in Alaska. It's like a gold rush kind of train. And it had modern stuff, but it also was outfitted to look like, did we have ceiling fans? We might have. That would have been the only way to cool a train.
Like car. I could see air conditioner, but ceiling fans a little.
Well, I'm thinking this is an old historic car that was built maybe before there was air conditioning. Look at the window. Look at the ironwork in the window behind Daryl there, right?
This is electricity to run a fan.
this is either historic. Well, I mean, the train is kind of making electricity. You can make electricity from the motion of the train, right?
Right. And trains have lights and everything else. I'm not saying
Yeah.
they don't. It seems to me, I would think that it would be easier now, maybe not back then, but it would have been easier to add like little,
Yeah.
air
I'm
conditioners.
saying I don't think this train was made in like 2012. I think it was made
No,
in
no,
like
I just think it's funny. I think it's kind of cool. Like it shows that
1945,
you
or it
like,
could be like a tourist train that's meant to look old,
yeah, that too.
right?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I realized I've never been on a train. I've intended to go on a train, never went. I've been on a subway.
You've never been on a train.
Because like, where am I going to go? You got to remember, I don't live in the city,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there isn't like mass transit near me. I've been on a subway, and when I was in Canada, I've been on there. I don't even know what they're called. They're like these long buses that have like these sort of accordion things connecting them together.
Oh, yeah, the double bus that's connected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been in one of those, and I've been in a subway in Pittsburgh, but I've never had a reason to be.
And
Other than that's not entirely true. I've been on little trains that like go around the amusement parks, like that kind of train.
Yeah.
And on the Harry Potter train, I went with you, and we
Yes,
went on
I went with you on the Hogwarts Express. Yeah.
But an actual like huge life-size train. No, I have not. You know what I mean?
Like Amtrak. You've never been on Amtrak.
Yeah. Like I know that the Hogwarts Express is technically life-size, but you know what I mean. Not a big train. Not a travel train that goes across the country. Let's put it that way. Yeah, because I'm not near mass transit. But anyway, it's cool. So then Daryl does bring the water back, and the woman gives him a shotgun because she's like, "Oh, well, you deserve this," type of thing. It's like his reward because he thanks her, and he helped them. He saved their lives, and they all thank him. And then this is where the girl gives him the water, and he thanks her, and he takes it, and
So during our chat in the watch party earlier, Kelly said, I think it was Kelly said, Daryl needs to learn a little Spanish.
No, I think it was me that said that.
It was you, and I said he learned French in like a week.
Yeah,
or some French, a little bit of French, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he was keeping company 24/7 with Isabel, who, I guess was teaching him and he was learning it.
Yeah, he would probably have more of a reason to talk to Isabel than he would.
Well, and he's not. Also, I think
supposed to be super smart either. I think, and not that you have to. I mean, I'm not saying people can't learn other languages; they can and should. But I'm just saying, like, they kind of make it like Daryl isn't, like he doesn't have great manners. He's not super smart. Like
I think Spanish is easier than French, but whatever. I also think this season is short. Like he did spend 2 seasons in France, and I feel like these 5 episodes, I feel like he's only been in Spain like a week or 2, right? They haven't been there very long.
Yeah, very true. Although the thing is, if they learn it, then they can tell when people are talking about them. And to be fair, French and Spanish are kind of similar.
Go back. Can you go back?
What? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have one with it strapped down. I was looking.
He has it in his hand here, right?
Yeah, he strapped it.
Yeah.
I hope he took more than that in water, though. Just saying.
He might have, but yeah.
In the apocalypse, probably if they were low on water, they would have drank that nasty bath water. Let's be honest. So we can just.
Well, you could boil it and clean it. You could boil it and distill it, right, and clean it. Which I would think if they can make fuel out of zombie bodies or vegetable oil, or everybody's got a different way to make fuel, I think they could like figure out the ancient art of like distilling water.
Yeah, whether this little colony could or not, I don't know. But
it's hard to.
Yeah, that's why I know you said like they're near they were kind of near the river. They might not know they are, but they are near the ocean or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, like I don't know that I know how to distill water. Like I know how to get salt from the water to keep the salt. But to get the water from the salt water, I don't even know how you do that.
You boil the water, and you need a way to catch the steam overhead, and you could even use just like something over it so the water condenses and then it runs down into a container to catch it. Or you might see people might have it go up into a beaker and through a pipe, but you could really easily just like find a way to make it condense and run down, right?
Yeah, no, I just never thought about it, but you're right.
You could also strain it, and then if you have bleach, you put a couple drops of bleach in it to like the right amount so you don't poison yourself, but a little bleach. If there's bleach still around or other there are ways to purify water. And look, people have been like purifying water for millennia, right?
And I know you boil water to purify it. I just didn't know how you got the salt out of it. I hadn't really thought about it. But
you just condense it, and then the salt is left behind.
Yeah. All right. So Daryl is off. And then we go to back to the village. And Valentina is coming to see Roberto. So she comes in and she talks to him a bit. And then she goes outside and talks to Carol. And I love this part with them. Like, they're so cool together. They're funny. And she's like, "Oh, I was wrong. You prefer the local wine." Because she's still, on her comment about her not sleeping with Daryl that we had last week. And I love Carol's like, "Has anyone ever told you you're a horny old lady?" And she's like, "They never say lady. They don't call me a lady."
Yeah.
That was cute. I like that. Yeah. And they do talk about how she's nosy. And then, she talks to Antonio later. I think that's the wrong picture.
Oh, no, this is where Fede's mother takes the compass.
Fede's mother finds the compass and takes it and gives it to Fede. And he kind of doesn't seem to really think much of it because he's like, "Oh, she must have left it behind." And she's like, "No, she was wearing it."
I don't know why this is a big deal because I thought the whole town knows they're in love. Like, we saw them like making out basically in public.
No. The big deal is she was wearing it when she was taken away to El Khazar. So it means he encountered them. And
thank you. It means he encountered her on the road.
Yeah. No, he knew it was Justina's or was it was Roberto.
So they know that Roberto went after her and ran into her.
Right. That's what that's saying. And why? I don't know. I mean, look, I don't think she should have told him because she knows he's going to do something. I don't know what her end game is here. And this part confused me a little bit because I was like, why? Like, why tell him?
Because I think whatever the reason Fede doesn't want these two to be together, she knows that and agrees with him.
Right, but I feel like this wasn't about them being together or not together, because you're right. Everybody knew they were together. They knew that he gave Justina that necklace. She's specifically telling Fede, "Hey, she was wearing this necklace before she left, so that means
they ran into each other,
which is going to get him trying to kill Roberto." So
yeah, but I think she doesn't want Roberto and Justina together, and she's willing to I'm starting to think maybe Fede's wife left him for Roberto, and so they hate. For Antonio, and so they hate Antonio and Roberto and don't want their niece to be with him, maybe.
But saying something that might cause him to get killed is not just not wanting them together. That's like beyond that.
Okay, right? But everybody does that all the time in this show.
They do, and maybe she doesn't realize what he'll do. Maybe she just thinks he'll punish him. I don't know. I wouldn't think the grandmother would want her
to have gone. Yeah. So
not sure why she wants him to get in trouble. Yeah, I was not sure what was going on with this.
Like, her grandmother wouldn't want her to go to El Alcazar. So if Roberto could rescue her, wouldn't that be a good thing?
Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, maybe when she told him, like, she just thought he'd get reprimanded. Maybe she didn't assume that he would potentially go after him and kill him. I don't know. I'm not sure what her ending was.
Let me say, this better pay off in 2 episodes from now.
Better pay off. So then Carol is talking to Antonio, and this is where she's kind of saying, "You should come with us to America." And I think he says that's his home or something, doesn't he?
He says, "This is my home. I can't leave." So how do we feel about this? Part of me,
you know how I feel. I'm annoyed.
Well, okay, setting aside your ship that will never come true, and taking Carol and Daryl at their word last week that they're not like that, I kind of feel like a guy that you've only met and flirted with for like 2 weeks and invite him to come move to your town is kind of a lot. On the other hand, I feel like Roberto has said he wants to go with them. Like, Roberto and Justina are supposed to go with them, and he has nobody else besides his son, so wouldn't he maybe want to go with Roberto, right?
Yeah, I could see her saying it like, your son's coming with us, you should come too. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but yes, it's more like asking, like, why she.
Oh, Ohio, you could start a new life. You could fit in. You could, like, what if, like, do you ever have a person that you flirt with for a couple weeks and then you go on a date and they're a total dud and you're like, "Oh, that wasn't."
Come live in with me. It's basically like what you say. Come live with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. is just a little weird. But look, they're clearly trying to push them together.
I do not think they're clearly trying to push them together. I think they're giving Carol a little flirtation.
Oh, fair.
I don't think this guy is going to go with them on the next. Where are they going next year? Are they in Spain next year? Portugal?
I highly doubt we will, but I think that they're trying to make it.
I don't think they're trying to push them together. I think part of Carol,
not them.
I think part of Carol letting go of Sophia is allowing her to like be open to like good things maybe in life and maybe having relationships and like look, there's only 2 episodes left. They're not gonna like suddenly like right, but I think for Carol to have a little, I mean, since Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel was her last boyfriend, and that didn't end well either, right? Mainly because Carol was acting like a bitch that entire season. But
yeah, I don't know. It just, yeah, maybe if she had said your son's gonna come with us, aren't you coming? Like,
yes, I mean that would make more sense, right? Like Roberto's gonna come. You should come. What do you got here besides Roberto, right? How could he let his son go to America? Where you are guaranteed to never see him again, right?
Yeah, that to me makes no sense at all. B says, I wondered whether Grandma knows Fede had a part in, or at least knew about Fede sending Justina away. At first, I thought she was upset Justina volunteered, but after she handed over the compass, maybe. I don't think she knows what he did. Do you? I mean, I don't quite get why she told him that, but I don't know that she knows what he did.
Like, we talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago. If she knew, why would she be like, Justina, go and get the key by the way, your uncle hides the key in this box. Go like open the cabinet and get some chocolate.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Would you do that if you knew either you wanted her to find the ribbons or you didn't know the ribbons were there?
Right. Well, they were in a hidden compartment, to be fair, but I would assume she either didn't know they were, well, she could have just not thought she'd find them, but I don't think she knew they were there. I don't. And I don't think she knows that he sent her away.
Yeah.
I think she's ignorant of that. Why she told him about the compass, I don't know. Maybe she's kind of like, he needs to know so he can prevent whatever is going to be a fallout of that. I mean, it could have been something like that. Like, he needs to be aware of it. So if Alcazar comes after them, they know why, type of thing. It could have been something as simple as that. So yeah, there's that. And
that's beautiful also.
It is cattails. So yeah, she tells him, she gives it to him, and then he gets this look like, oh, I gotta figure out what to do now. And then they're still taking care of Roberto. And it's too dark. I can't even see. It looked like they were holding hands, but I can't tell if they're hands up or if they're holding hands. It's the way her sweater is.
Their hands are maybe just near each other.
Or they're behind her.
Oh, no, wait, they're holding hands. They're holding hands, right?
I'm not sure. That's why I took the picture. Like, is this his hand?
That's his hand. That's his hand. They might be holding hands.
Okay, yeah. She doesn't have that design on her sweater. It's got to be his hand.
All right, chat. What say ye? Do you think they're holding hands, chat?
They grabbed hands for sure. See, I feel like certain things, like I'm so busy taking notes, I blink and I miss something. I took when I was going through taking pictures, I'm like, it looks like they're holding hands. So I definitely thought that when I took it. So yeah. Kelly agrees as well. So yeah, and that's my point. I think that they're going to go that direction. Whether that works out is,
But I mean, she could also, just as a mother, be really feeling for him as a father, seeing his son potentially maybe going to die. Right? Carol's lost a lot of children, and I think she has a lot of compassion for what Antonio is going through right now.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. B says, rewound it to be sure. Pendically misses hold this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Carol could just really be like trying to be there for him while his son is in danger.
She could be.
She's very like 4 kids at least.
I also kind of wonder, like, with everything going on, would you really be trying to have a relationship right now anyway? Like, there's a lot of shit going down. Like, do they really have time
at this moment, right? And
at this moment, maybe they feel close. But.
And it's like a slow burning. It's not this like insatiable love at first sight. Like, I can't be apart from you. They haven't really, right? It's a slow thing. And she's determined to go home. And I think it's like when you meet someone on vacation but you know you're going to go home and that's going to be it, right?
So they're going to hook up and then leave.
Yeah, except they're not. They're not going to hook up.
I know. I'm just teasing because you said that.
You might get.
Yeah.
They might. Maybe when they get on that boat to leave, there might be like a really good kiss goodbye.
Yeah.
And that might be it between these two.
Yeah. We will have to wait.
I think in the end, Roberto and Justina don't go and they stay in Spain.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know that this is going to work out. I mean, look, they didn't bring Isabella along to the next leg of the journey, so I kind of doubt they're going to come along. I think you're right. She wants to comfort him. I don't think she's looking for a relationship. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, he is upset with good reason.
Yeah,
so
and I think maybe. I mean, I think Fede might get killed or deposed, and like right now, Antonio seems more like he's praying for Justine to come home. He's sort of like converted. He's sort of come around like to the idea of these two being together. And I feel like maybe by the end of the season, there's some acceptance in their community and they decide to stay.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point. But you said that you think something's going to happen to Fede. You think he's going to take over? Is that what you mean?
No, I think Fede's going to come to a demise.
Oh, I don't know why. I thought you meant die.
Well, I think he might die, or he might just be like overthrown as the mayor of the town.
Right. I just think that now that you said that, though, I think if he is overthrown, it would probably be Antonio that would.
I mean, definitely people are going to find out that he's cheated on Lofrenda, right? And the Lofrenda ends by the end of the season, I think.
I hope so. We'll have to see. I hope so. All right. Well, what did you? So a lot of people really liked this episode, then I guess. So,
I like this episode. I just felt it's a little bit.
I did too. I just would have liked it to be more connected to the plot.
It was a little bit of a side trip. It was fun. It was good. It was a good hour of television. As an hour of television, it was entertaining and it was good. And it was, it's always good looking
for Walking Dead right now. So
yeah, it just was a little bit of a side departure when we know that Daryl's going to find another group of villainous weirdos, in the next episode.
Probably.
Yeah. So it seemed to be like, and it's fine for a show to have a departure episode and do something fun and cool. But I know how you feel like with only 7, you crave more story, right? And right, I get that. Yeah,
I know how I feel. Yeah,
but it was good.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I just think they could have even had it like this whole, like if they wanted the spaghetti Western, I feel like couldn't they have even taken that style and put it on like Justina's rescue or something? And then they would have accomplished both at once. But I don't know. Maybe
I guess
they don't have enough story to fill 7 episodes. Who knows?
I guess there's maybe that much more story. Like there's Justina's rescue and then go home. Like how much more story is there really, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I love this episode. It's my second favorite after episode 1, but I'm more interested in Daryl and Carol than their escapades. I'm always in the minority about that. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a Daryl and Carol shipper, so,
Are you shipper B, or are you just interested in them as like characters with a good friendship and like a interesting inner life? Or maybe B's a shipper like you are, Jamie.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think you have to be, though. I agree. I mean, I a lot of times would rather see kind of the interpersonal things, whether it's in that sense or just as a friendship. Sometimes I get kind of sick of this. I mean, I know that's what the show is. Look, it's about zombies. I get it. But sometimes I would rather see more of the character development and less of the walkers, if I'm honest. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't still need that. But yeah, sometimes. She's not a she. I'm saying she. I'm not sure. Is B a she? It looks like a feminine tattoo. That's why I'm saying she. If you're not a she, I apologize. Interesting characters, definitely not a ship. Love their friendship. That's okay. Yeah. I'm in the minority that I am,
No, so that's how I feel. B also, like I'm definitely not a shipper of those two. I love their friendship. I love their relationship. I enjoyed this episode seeing Daryl on like a solo adventure and like a big kind of rescue, like against the bad guys adventure. But I would like to see, like, one of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead is when Carol rescues everybody at Terminus, right? And I'd love to see Carol go on a.
You want to see badass Carol, right?
Yeah, it's Carol again. Carol hasn't been a badass for like a while. Well, she was kind of badass when she like went to Maine to try to find Daryl, and then she like flew to Europe or whatever. But It was great
I
to
wish,
see.
I wish it was so easy. I wish it was as easy now to get to another country as it is in this apocalypse. Then maybe I could afford to get in our country. I could just hop somebody's plane and get there in a day. It's
I mean, Daryl did have to be in a cell with a ship full of zombies when he
but
went.
I just mean like they constantly travel across the country so quickly and now to other countries and have no problem. Still Europe.
Welcome, Panda Kalima. I think you're new here tonight. Great to see you. And yes, Julie B is a friend of ours.
I think most people here probably know, or maybe even found me through Julie. Maybe
I think most people here tonight might have met us through Julie B. Yeah,
from Julie. Yeah,
from right when we did from with Julie B.
Kelly says the Carol Terminus episode was my favorite. Agree, it would be great to see her do some more of that. Yes,
yeah,
she needs to kick some ass. It's so funny though. What was I watching? I was watching. I know what I was watching. That new show I was telling you about.
Yeah,
I watch so many shows where like it's the same kind of thing happens in this show. You know how like you'll see like just one person like kick the ass of like 50 different people.
Yeah.
Or in this case, like a whole bunch of different walkers and they do this crazy shit. I'll tell you, I've been watching so much Shield lately that like this big group of people are attacking like these two people, and I just expected them to like kill all of the
You're not finished with
guys really quickly.
You're not finished with Agents of Shield yet, huh?
No, there's 7 seasons. I'm on season 5. I'm almost done with season 5.
You've been watching it for a while.
Yeah. Yep. I'm enjoying it very much. I wish it was on now. I wish I'd watched it originally. Or I do rewatch. I love it. And I really like what's his name, Clark Gregg. But I liked him before that. So
he's great in that. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's my favorite part.
Yeah.
And then she says it drew that little buggy up a hill and kicked the guy in the head. I don't want a buggy.
In Terminus episode.
Yeah, like a horse and buggy. Yeah, kind of. I kind of remember that. I love the episode back when Carol was taking care of business.
Yep, he loves it. Yep. Back when Carol was just taking care of business. Yep. And she's like, I gotta rescue my friends. I gotta do what's gotta be done, and let me just go do it.
Yep. You should be badass.
Yeah.
All right.
So next week, I think Daryl gets to Barcelona, and I mentioned earlier in the chat, some of you might not have been here yet, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Barcelona.
Yeah, it'll look cool, I'm sure.
A city which is she did kick butt last season at the Nest. The Nest was
yeah.
Yeah, the Nest was like, where they all live together. That she did kick butt there. That was great too.
Yeah, we finally got to see that.
Yeah.
It took so long to get her to where Daryl was, though. To be fair, we heard this comment from Justin. What was it? Oh, we never got to it. Sorry, Justin, if you're still there, we forgot to go back to it. I think Daryl is traumatized due to experiencing death, but he's learning to get over it. I think he has been depressed because of what happened to her. Drove a little dune buggy up the kill and kick somebody in the head.
When you say what happened to her, who's her? Isabel. You mean Isabel, or what happened? Like he's lost a lot of people.
Yes. Well, I was referencing Isabel. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
I mean, one thing I didn't love in this episode was there's a scene very early on where I guess it's the buzzards are like kind of attacking Daryl on his motorcycle, and he hunkers down, and there's this flashback to him like running out of the house when he's a kid again.
I skipped that part. It sucked.
Yeah, I don't really love the Daryl
flashbacks. Yeah.
Look, I get that his childhood trauma could be with him well into his life, but I just don't think at that very moment that's like what he's experiencing. And we keep seeing the same. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again now. I think maybe I think maybe the creators of the show think there are people watching who don't know Daryl's history. Like, is it possible there are viewers who've never watched any Walking Dead until Daryl Dixon, and they don't know all of his history that we know from watching the flagship, that he came from an abusive household? And so do they feel like they need to reiterate that because we forgot it?
Why do we need to know that, though? It's not really relevant to what's going on.
It's not. except in
if
the sense of
there was somebody he was trying to help that was in an abusive relationship, then I would understand that. Or in a abusive household, not relationship, but you know what I mean?
I mean, except in the sense of these two characters like constantly processing trauma, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I like this Daryl Dixon show. Good, glad. I definitely think it's the best of the spinoffs. It's my favorite of the
Absolutely.
Look, I like The Ones Who Live too. I know you don't like it as much as I do. I did like The Ones Who Live a lot, but I like this spinoff definitely.
Yeah, I definitely don't like
and again, Daryl and Carol have always been my favorite characters, so
yes.
there's that.
Yeah. There's that.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So, well,
all right.
Glad y'all enjoyed it. Please make sure you join us on Tuesday at 10 Eastern for Fandom Access. We'll be doing Invasion, and we'll do Wayward again. They could have a small convo about it instead of the flashbacks. I agree.
Yeah, be like, oh, this is really making me think. Seeing these kids is making me think of when I was a kid, or like I don't know what he could say. Yeah,
click on the wrong thing. If they want to explain things as flashbacks, need to be longer. They're so short, they're almost missable. Yeah, they're not. Yeah. I agree. That's the problem. I think is that they're too short to show anything. But
it's like, are they even 10 seconds?
Like make it into a legit flashback that we need, or take it out altogether.
Yeah.
We didn't even need to see what happened to Justina in the flashback. It was a waste. But yeah.
All right, everybody hit that like button and subscribe, please.
Please subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. And if you're watching on another social media or whatever, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube. It's a lot of help. And like I keep saying, at the end of the season, do have more Outlander interviews coming.
Yeah.
And in a couple weeks, I think it's after episode 4, I got to double check spoilers. My interview with Robert Patrick for Tulsa King, which was so fun. And of course, I asked about X-Files. It was great. He was really nice. I really enjoyed talking to him. So that's coming too. So yeah, a lot of great stuff coming up.
And if anyone's new, Panda Kalima, you're new with us tonight. I don't know if you know that we do a watch party at 10 o'clock on Sundays. We on Discord. Jamie, if you pop the Discord in there.
Yeah, it's pinned.
It's pinned. So we do a watch party on Discord for Daryl Dixon before we have this review show at 11:30.
Yes. For anybody that
you can join us for that, you guys, if you want to.
Yeah, and please, guys, let us know what other kind of shows you want to see us cover. Hey, Julie, thanks for dropping by.
Julie,
appreciated. But we do the watch parties beforehand, which I probably never would have found out about if not for Julie, since she did all the watch parties. Please join us for that and let us know what kind of shows you want us to cover. I know Scarlett and I were kind of kicking around doing a Wayward show, but since we're doing it on Fandom Access, I don't know whether we will or not, but we will be doing Talamasca and potentially Harlan Coben's Lazarus. Guys, please let us know what you want to see, what kind of watch parties you want. Maybe we should do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. No, I know that's old. I still enjoy it, even if it's old.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get furloughed this week, so I'm going to have a lot more hours in my day to watch TV. So
catch up with me. I'm obsessed with it.
Catch up on
this is what happens when you get to a binge and you don't quit. I've watched it it's been 3 weeks. I'm on season 5, so I've watched a lot of it because they're like 22 episode seasons. So I'm watching a lot. But yeah.
All right, kids.
Everybody, have a good night.
Thanks everyone. Good night.
See you soon. Night.
Bye.